and welcome to In Conversation with Kirti. Today we are going to talk about Indian Australian entrepreneurs and professionals who have carved a niche for themselves in a new country, which of course is their home now. We have Pushpa Narayan and Yogita Bhardwaj with us today. Pushpa is very passionate about fashion and dance. She's a fashion designer and she also runs a Bollywood dance school. So tell us a bit more about yourself, Pushpa.
Oh, thank you so much, Kirti, for having me on this show, first of all. Well, I actually believe when you have a passion for something, you got to just go ahead and do it. And I'm very happy to say that I've done lots of fashion shows out here. And I would be very proud to say that I've been one of the Indian women to take the Indian culture to runways like the L'Oreal fashion show, the Virgin Australia. And I've carved a new creation altogether by doing that. And at the same time, I do have a very successful dance group that I run. That's called the Mai Nachungi Dance Group. And I just don't make sure that the team just dances, but also goes an extra mile. So I have taken, at times, dancers to the runways, and I have seen them become successful stars across. And they've done some music videos and all those beautiful things. And of course, at the same time, I do have a full-time job and also run other event industry and be a part of it at the moment. Thank you.
So Yogita is a successful entrepreneur and professional. She runs 2 newspapers, she's getting into entertainment industry and also setting up a fashion house. So tell us, Yogita, how do you juggle between so many tasks and how do you do so many things at the same time?
Hello Kirti, first of all I would like to thank you and Bollywood for having me here, and I think juggling becomes a part of a woman's life once you're a mother as well. So I have a passion for writing, and I think becoming a publisher of 2 newspapers, it just sort of helps that writer in me come out, and I keep putting various notes on Facebook as well, and they're just my thoughts for the day and articles for the papers as well. So it's just sort of I think reflects what I'm looking around me and what women feel around me as well. So a lot of thoughts are incorporated in those particular thoughts that I actually pen down in my articles. And with my fashion house, I am still in the process of launching it. There is a lot of nitty-gritty. I think Pushpa would agree with me. There's a lot of small nitty-gritty involved in it. It's still in the process of being launched here. I have put in a word around, but the official launch is going to be another few months down the line, since we want to do it on a bigger scale, so every small aspect has to be covered. And apart from that, I've just gotten into entertainment industry, and it's all about entertainment, so it just attracts me a lot. It's a very glamorous line from outside, but there are very small aspects that need to be covered when you actually screen a movie, or being a producer, you have to make sure that the artists are all right, the screen chemistry is all right, the script is good. Small things are there. So just working on that. I've just done my first production, I Do Ishq Only Tumse, which has actually been supported a lot locally, and the whole idea is to support local talent in Melbourne. And when I say local talent, our focus is on women, because I think when especially migrant women, when they come here, they need to expand a bit more, and I think make their forte very clear if they are good in whatever field they are good in. So that's what we are focusing on at the moment in my production house.
So Yogita, do you think that Indian women, or men for that matter, when they migrate to a new country, they have to go an extra mile to prove themselves and make a place for themselves?
They do, Kirti, and the main problem is when people come as migrants, they focus on the education to get their migration, but they don't get the bigger picture as to when you step out into the market, is that migration going to be useful to get your bread and butter and to mark your place in the working society here. That is very important. And I think when women choose any course, or even if they're educated back home, when they come from overseas, from any country for that matter, and they come here, they have to understand where their qualifications can actually blend into to make their place in the working industry in Australia. That is very important, and it is very challenging because language. I mean, people are bilingual, but language is a very big hindrance for women who are not exposed. Confidence, I would say, confidence is the main thing. Women have to be very confident about what they are doing. They have to understand, and they have to set a goal. It's not. I don't believe in hit and try, because hit and try is where you waste your time.
Exactly.
Yep.
You know. Jack of all, master of none. It doesn't really make sense. So I think if women try and focus on what they want to do, what they want to achieve, they can do much better. And there are various organizations which are set by the Victorian government as well as the federal government for non-profit organizations there who support women who have migrated, who have got language problem or who have got education problem. There is a lot of government assistance which is provided. And I would like to name one organization. It is Victorian Immigrants and Refugees Coalition. So they are WC. Sorry, they are very helpful, and they guide you. And it's not only providing financial assistance; it's just showing you the right path to achieve what you want to achieve.
Exactly.
I think that is very, so it's not about sympathize, and a lot of people when they come here, women, they start sympathizing that they don't have exposure, they don't have, the right channel, but it's not about sympathizing, it's empathizing with the situation and trying to learn more. I think I would like to focus on that.
So Pushpa, was it easy for you to achieve what you've achieved today?
No, it wasn't. It's a lot of hard work, but if you have a drive to do something, and if you stick to a plan, and every action has to have a plan, and think of a bigger picture, and that's very important, and involve everybody around you. And most of the time what happens is women start thinking, oh, it's like, I have my kid, I have my husband. No, they are just people. They don't understand you, because you should learn to communicate with them and involve them. If it is a dancing, you get your kid up and start dancing with the kid. I bet you the father will be like mind blown to see a child dancing, and then involve everybody. That's the main thing. And the other thing is use everybody in the network, and that's important. They grow, you grow. They don't grow, you don't grow. And that's the main thing in life too, in a bigger, broader sense. And as Yogita ji also mentioned about resource centers, there's a lot of resource centers.
So what sort of guidance can we provide to new migrant women, and to help them settle down and to get a job? Or
first of all is speak up and look through. Now the internet is so huge. Like, you have your social media, you have your Instagram, you got your Facebook, everybody's out there. So use that process, the social media process, to get out there. And if you're looking for a job, just try to assist yourself to find out what are you good at, where is your weakness. And if there's a weakness, there's always, and you're in a first world country like Australia. I mean, you're not sitting back home in India where everything has to be paid for. There's all these resource centers, there's all this support mechanism for women, and there is so much for women out here. So if you can use that for the new migrants, that's exactly the way to go about. I can't see why they should have a fallout.
Yogita, what help can we provide as established entrepreneurs, and what help can we provide to the new migrants here?
I always have a feeling that we should have a sort of a see, everyone names an organization or an association. We really need to have a networking platform for women to interact with people like me and Pushpa, and there are a lot of women out there who've been very successful here, and they need to understand the beginning, how the beginning has to be step by, as she said, step by step. They have to have an aim. They have to know what they want to be. It's about ignoring the hindrances that you have. There is, as we call, juggling. You have to juggle. If you want to be something, you have to juggle in life. So I believe that if there is a focus, women are shown a platform, and they have all those questions which they feel are the silly questions
Yeah.
which they can't ask, you know.
No, yeah.
That is one thing which I say when they lack confidence. No question is silly. They have
No.
to tap on the shoulder. Can I ask you a question? And just ask a question. There is always an answer from which you will learn 10 things in
Exactly.
life. So I believe that confidence is very important in every woman. And if they come and step out, but again, we need a platform for that. And I'm more than happy to
Yes, help
join
out.
hands with anyone who is willing to
Exactly.
have a platform, and we
Yeah.
can have
Yeah.
women come and interact there.
I think we should have like a web page. I mean, or you know, even if like Bollywood is such a beautiful website right now at the moment, maybe we could just have a page of you know, like with all the email IDs or any contacts or any like a 1-800 number or something like that.
Yeah, that's a
you know.
wonderful suggestion.
Yeah, something like a little resource center kind of thing, and then if somebody picks it up from there, which is open for everybody, so oh yeah, someone is looking for some help in the migration, and of course Yogi has got a great thing there with the migration office that she's got, and then you know someone could say, yeah, why don't you just get in touch with, or someone wants to learn dancing, okay, yeah, there's the Mai Nachungi, or someone wants to do modeling, for instance, okay, yeah, we'll give you that opportunity, but it has to come from within. That's the main thing, and if we have some kind of a setup, as we all can put in our effort, I think that will be helpful for the migrants at the moment.
Yeah. So do you think new migrants, you know, moving to a new country, being women, do they end up facing some sort of discrimination?
They do. I would say the first discrimination starts from within their houses.
Exactly.
First discrimination. And look, in our community, let's be honest, our partners most of them are very supportive, but then there are men out there who are not supportive as well. And then I think it's just a lot of family pressures pulling a woman back into the rather than step, because Australia is a very new society, and when you step out, you learn a lot more. Sometimes our families back home are not very comfortable with us getting that open into the market of work, especially. Apart from that, having children is not the end of life.
No.
It's not the end of life. It's a new chapter that begins in your life, because as Pushpa said, when you have a child, there is so much you can do with the child
right.
Exactly.
to make money or to
Exactly.
make your mark in life.
Exactly.
When I'm a mother of 2 kids, I've got 2 boys, I'm full on, but then, you know, there are so many things that sometimes when I'm writing something, I ask my son, could you spell this? You know, so he feels very good that I'm just,
Yeah.
it's a very small thing, but a little involvement of your child or your partner in your business sort of involves it's more about growing in a family.
Exactly.
And I think our Indian community wants every woman to grow in a family. I don't think, there are different types of societies. In Australian society is totally different.
Yeah.
But in Indian society, I think when we move with our families are behind us, I think we grow more.
Yep.
But when we are growing, it's like you walk alone, you're going alone, you walk alone, you know.
Exactly.
So it's better to share your success with your children, your elders, your
Friends,
family.
yeah.
And I think Indian women, if they start focusing on that, and I have noticed when women come here, they try to make their own mark. Proving it. You don't have to prove
No.
it to anyone.
Right.
You have to prove it to
Prove to
yourself
yourself.
that you can do it.
Exactly.
But then you can do it with your partner, with
Yeah.
your family. You don't have to be, you know, like me. There's nothing about me over here. When you
No.
grow, it's always we. And that's
Yes.
what I
That's
would like to
very
focus on.
important,
Yeah.
So Pushpa, do you think migrant women accept inferior jobs if they don't get job of their level, the kind of work they've done in their home country, and when they move to a new country, for example Australia, and they don't get their kind of job, they end up having inferior jobs or an alternate job
Yep.
altogether? Why is that, and what do you think about it?
Well, honestly, you might be, like, say, for instance, somebody is like a manager back home in India, a calls manager. This is again another example, real life example. It's actually a man, in fact. Unfortunately, it's not a woman. But in this instance, the man comes here, and that is it. I was a manager out there, so why should I work? And actually, you know, the woman on the other end is actually trying to do whatever she can do. So what she does, takes any low-lying job. But as I said again, if you have a network and you have friends or family that you can talk to, you can only tell them, a gentleman, to change your own, you know, you cannot be like the way you are. But again, the women wants to stay with the same partner, and there's nothing one can do about it, you know. But as you said, you talked about the low-line jobs. Sometimes it is okay to take the low-line jobs because, say for example, you have a big degree and you're working in the calls, the scanning as a customer service officer or whatever. It's okay to take that job because you should remember, once you get in there, you have a big network. That is how you have a pathway to go. And there's always in the industry in Australia, in Melbourne at least, we have something called pathways, we have something called career guidelines. So if the manager thinks that, hey, you've done pretty well, and
It opens up a lot more.
Yeah, it opens up.
So what do you think, Yogita? Is it okay to go for inferior jobs or low-line jobs, whatever, just to carve a way for yourself?
Okay, Kirti, I have different thoughts here. There is nothing called a low-line job. If when I go to a food court, if the cleaner does not clean the plate, I don't get a table to sit on.
Yeah,
Simple as that. So every profession is very important. There is nothing called a low-line job.
Yeah, when I say low-line, it is like you are a manager in your home country, and then you end up,
Yes.
as not even as an executive, just an entry-level position.
Yes.
So you just go straight down and you start from scratch all over again.
Yeah.
So not many people are happy doing that. So what do you think about it?
When we uproot ourselves from our country and we make another country our home, we are planting ourselves again. So when we plant ourselves, we have to start from the mud ground level. That's what I believe in. When I started, I used to work for a company called Brumar, which was an accomplice of Shell Australia. So I started at the petrol station on Kingsway, which is Mobile now.
Yes.
And I was offered the job of a manager after I worked there for an year, almost, year and a half, I would say precisely. As a customer service officer, and I used to do a shift after my university from 4 to midnight, and that is how I channelized myself, and I knew that I have to. And when I was offered the job of the manager there, I just thought, why can't I do things myself?
Exactly.
If I've got the resources, let me see what I can do. And that's how me and my husband we channeled out, and we found my other counterpart, which is YABS Group, which I run with my husband. So this is an example. It is, you have to start from somewhere, as Pushpa said, when you start from a customer service or even cleaner for that matter, whatever, you could own a cleaning company after a few years if you have the experience, but you got to.
No experience goes way.
You cannot have a company till you know how to do that work yourself, because that's how it is. If she doesn't know how to dance, she can't run a dance school. It's like that. You have to know what you're doing, and I think when you start from a very low level, it just gives you a stronger foundation to rise to where you want to be.
Exactly.
But yes, it is very disheartening. It can put you into depression. It can make you very disheartened and
take away all the confidence.
All the confidence.
But then you have to make the most of.
Exactly. You have to make the most of the situation and try to see where you can put your feet firmly and then grow from there.
Exactly.
So
what do you think? What do you think? Melbourne is a nice place. It provides a nice work environment, or what sort of work opportunities do people have here?
Okay, that's a very broad question. A lot of opportunities people have here. Either you carve out, as Yogita is saying, if you have a passion for something and you have all your elements there, and if you have the support from your family, go for it. Go do it. That's the whole thing. But opportunities are always there. It doesn't matter which way you started, where you started, but there's always a network to start and go rise up, Because as even Yogita was saying that she worked in the evening, when I started working in the evening, I worked part-time for a bit. But I ended up being a team leader for 90 people under me, and that was the greatest opportunity that I had. And now I work in the corporate down the road from here for the Fed government, and I've done pretty well even on the day-to-day basis of 9-to-5 job as it is. But yes, there's heaps of opportunity for the migrant women out here. You should not be scared, because it's a first world country we are living. It has got the best climate, the best, the food, the best of everything here. So I can't see why should someone hold back everything to themselves. I just can't see that. And just a word is for their beautiful husbands and partner, if they can support, that will be another milestone in their own lives. When the women is happy and they're successful, the men also grow. That's the I think that's the ideal family that should be, I suppose.
Yeah, what do you have to say about this, Yogita? About Melbourne and what kind of work environment?
The plus point in Melbourne is that it's a very versatile place. It's very multicultural. So it's not like this community wants a particular thing. Every community wants everything from other community. So there is so much of networking. There is so much of interaction between communities that helps people grow. And there is so much to learn from other communities. Like I mean, cuisines, for example. I mean, where would you find in
Fantastic.
one city
The
the kind of food we're offered in Melbourne? You could choose a different cuisine every day of the month. There is so much out there, and they all taste different. So they're all good. So everyone is trying to work hard and achieve what they want to achieve out there. And in growing, I think it's. Well, as Pushpa said, we have to. The partners have to be supportive. Like, it's not only men supporting women, but I think the women who nag their husbands, they also have to. They also have to let their husbands go and make their mark out there, because it is not easy for a man to step out.
Exactly.
I mean, you know, when I was to be not working and just doing a simple job, it was very different. But I've seen that though my husband has held my hand and made me move forward in life. There is a lot out there. It's a fish market, and you really have to make your place. So you have to be focused and confident and just grow.
Exactly. And be happy. The most important thing for migrant women, I would say, is find happiness within yourself. Surround yourself with positive energy and be positive. That's the main thing. And be happy. Put a big smile on your face. It doesn't matter whatever job you're doing. Just be happy and have a big laugh at the end of the day.
I'm happy to write. That's why I'm enjoying my publication. Otherwise, it's not about just promoting articles, you know. It's just about writing and putting your thoughts on paper.
So thank you, Yogita. Thank you, Pushpa.
Thanks
Thanks
for
so
having
much
us.
for coming to my show and talking about women entrepreneurs in Australia. I hope the audience will enjoy our show, and we'll be back again next week.